Hello everyone, you're welcome to another wonderful episode of the Round Table. My name is Shegun Odwanyo. What exactly do we do on this show? Here on this show, we pick 3 topics mostly, analyze them, dissect them, discuss them, look at them from all angles and present the facts before you, our viewers. So that is what we do on the Round Table. Usually, I don't do this alone, or the presenter never does this alone. We have capable guests who go on to argue for and against, as the case may be, for and against the various topics that we bring on board on this program. This wonderful Thursday afternoon, I have with me one of our regular guests, Mr. Adekunle Aliu. He's going to be my only guest for today, but I'm very sure he's going to do a yeoman's job, and together we'll be having a fantastic time on the show. A very good afternoon to you,
Yeah,
Mr.
it's a pleasure to be
Aliu.
here one more time. Thank you very
Another
much.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Your tie is not here, but your smile is here, ever present.
Thank you.
All right, very quickly, let's dig into the topics we have for you today. We'll be starting with the Cameroon Dam that is about to be opened, and that is going to happen soon. A letter was sent to that effect, and it's going to affect not one state here in Nigeria, not 2 states here in Nigeria, not 5 states here in Nigeria, not 10 states here in Nigeria, but at least 11 states will be affected. Now, outside of those 11 states that have been mentioned, there's a possibility that the remnants, if we have to use that word now, or crumbs that will fall off those 11 states that will be heavy, may even come down to some other southern states. This is not the first time we're talking about this subject matter. We spoke about it most especially as it affected the Borno people and the dam that fell in Borno recently. 2 weeks ago, we talked about the fact that there were warnings that the floods were coming and that they are going to be indeed heavy. Mr. Liu, the floods are here.
Yes.
You know, what makes it interesting is, while the whole world is talking about what is happening in Borno, there are about 4 states in the north where the floods have been very, I'm not talking about heavy, like very heavy. It's just that it was Borno that the dam fell and everybody is donating to that cause. But I think Zamfara and a couple of other states, about 3 or 4 of those states, have been heavily affected by flood. And then now Taraba has also been affected. And then now we are going into the crunch period that we are used to every September, October. Now they're opening in October. I didn't see Ogun State on the list of states, but we all know most times it trickles down one way or the other to Ogun State. So they say we are preparing shelter for people. How comfortable are these shelters going to be?
Well, you know how we do things. It might not be comfortable. It will just be to elevate for that period of time. If you see the way that happened in Borno down in Maiduguri, you see that they had to convert schools. In Taraba, they also have to convert schools to shelter. Those are the kind of, we don't have prepared places for distance. So we use what we have when this crisis happened. But having said that, you discover that the dam being released in the water in the dam being released in Cameroon is going to go through land and water and end up at the Pacific or at the ocean here in Lagos. So, and also in the estuaries at the Niger Delta. That's why we are other states within that range will experience this great water that is coming. But we learned that they are doing preparations for it. They are doing sensitizations, education on how, and also to evacuate people along those floodplain. Now, how effective will this be? How much are they going to spend? We can't tell now, but that's what they should do. Moving people to safety and asking people to do the right thing when this thing happens. If you notice in Maiduguri now, the donation is so much.
Everybody wants to be Borno State governor right now. I mean, 6 million from the United Nations alone. In dollars, not in naira.
Would that do? The problem that has been, many houses will go.
Of course.
So if you count the population of those in that whose properties have been destroyed and they want to build for them new houses, I was really reading the news this morning that Kano State said it's going to build some kind of modest homes for those who are affected by flood. So what is modest for those who are affected in Maiduguri? Will the government begin to build houses for them? But again, having said that, if government have been able to spend quality time to do mapping, to do building, to do arrangement, ordering, putting things in order, maybe we won't experience these kind of things. And since they've not done that, we might pay and the money being given might not be sufficient. Like, I know that for sure.
Okay, 18 local governments in Benue will be affected. 18.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
That's
whole
huge, yeah.
And these are the red zone states. Red zone is most affected. Like I said, we still have states that will probably not be mentioned, but they can't escape some of these.
Of course.
Some parts of Lagos will definitely be there because it's all heading down to Lagos at the end of the day, where it's going to be joining the Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Now, about 50 million Nigerians will be negatively affected. How sure are we that these funds, because these funds are coming in big now, Borno, for example, how sure are we that these funds will be used correctly, judiciously, appropriately?
That's another thing, because yesterday I also read in the news that the federal government was sending experts to go and do some testing of the soil, testing of the waters, to look at waterborne diseases or diseases that could emanate after flood. That, okay, what are they? So you see, the money will go into a lot of things. We're going to feeding, we're going to Medicare, we're going to preparations for schools and so on and so forth. So it's the usage, if government can come out plain. Because sometimes, again, I've read reports whereby some states will claim that there are flooding in their state just to tap into their ecological
That's why I said everybody wants to be governor of Borno right now.
So when this is happening, you now ask yourself a question and say, okay, who is truthful about the money? Is the government going to be accountable on how they spend the money? They should just do it well, because people are suffering. I saw somebody's house that the water had cracked, and I was trying to understand, okay, from the inception, was this building built appropriately? I told myself, no, it wasn't done well. You could see there are no pillars, there are just blocks on dry ground and the building is falling now after the flood. So who are the regulatory agencies that ought to say, okay, this house you are building
should have done their job.
Would have stand the test of time. If you do this, if you do that, will also stand flooding. But again, the way we do things in some part of the country make things difficult when situations like this happen. But I haven't said that government should do what? Spend the money appropriately to get the people what they want. The succor they need, give it to them. The shelter they need, let them have it. At this point, we have to be our brother's keeper. We cannot say because they are somewhere we now reject them. But no, government should do the needful. For the Benue State, yes, we are going to suffer also food. Because those 14 local governments, I mean 18 those 18 local governments must be some part of the food basket. Crops will go. Maiduguri, when I say Maiduguri, is just some part of Maiduguri. It's not the whole part of Maiduguri, so it's not the whole part of Borno State. But we could see it's devastating. So now, look at this one in Bello that is going to be affected, 18 local government. What is going to be the catastrophe level? We'll also begin to map that. What are we going to lose? Government should begin to look at it and begin to say, okay, those who are going to leave the flood-prone area should please do leave. Those who are not going to leave, we are going to capitalize on it, because we can still do some kind of fish farming, you know, in this flooding. Let's go on the lighter mode.
I don't think that
some fishes will be washed. It's true. Some fishes will be washed. And so what can we do with that? Some farmers, as much as this flooding is going to be devastating in some area, it's still going to be beneficial to some people. Because after the flooding in those kind of areas, you still have to be able to do some farming.
Okay, I think I should just read out the release of the Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency. And this circular came out on the 17th of September, just 2 days ago, where, of course, Nigerian Hydrological Service Agency wishes to inform the general public that the authority of Lago Dam in Cameroon have informed the agency that the dam management will begin regulated water releases at the rate of 100 meters today. That was that same day. That means they got the report that day and then issued the statement that same day. And they said it's going to be for the first 7 days, depending on the inflow from the upstream Garua River, which is the main feeder into the reservoir and the major contributor, I beg your pardon, to the Benue River. Now, sweet that they are telling us on the 17th, that same day they got it.
It's solitary. They've released the water already.
Yes, it's for 7 days.
Yeah.
It's going to be 7 days long.
The volume is massive.
For that 7 days. And it's going to still
released
be on.
Systematically too, like I learned this one is being released. But again, the problem we had then was that we knew that distance will be coming. So we ought to have built some kind of
that is where I'm going. Over time, we should, talking about we, I mean Nigeria, not Sheikh. We should have gotten something in place as a country, because it's not news. It's not news that this is happening.
It's not a new thing.
There should have been a structured system in place, and this has been going on for over 25 years. So it's not new. Somebody said we talked about it last year. We are talking about it this year. We'll definitely talk about it next year.
Yeah, it is. It's right.
No long-term plan, nothing. I mean, we know that it is there. We know we're supposed to do something about it, but nothing ever happens.
But
why?
Do you know the most shocking thing is that this morning I read a report that the federal government is aware of the problem, and they've done their feasibility studies, they've done all the necessary analysis, and they have planned already on ground to build some kind of buffer dams that would take this water. But it's actually actualizing this project, bringing it into fruition is where we have problems.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. So when are these dams that, they've done all the talking, when are we going to see it? When are we going to see that this project is started?
Also, the president had said he's going to take a proactive, this current president said he's going to do the needful. Yeah, he's going to spend the money on it. He has said it, So I expect him to start. We are doing the Sokoto Lagos Road. We are doing the Calabar Coastal Way. We also can spend...
That Calabar Coastal Way. Calabar, Lagos. This tenure may not even...
But whatever we started, somebody has to start it.
Okay.
If it takes 10 years, somebody has to start it. You remember how long it took us to fix the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway appropriately in codes. So the same thing will come up for this project too, if government is serious to mitigate this kind of thing so that it doesn't happen again. Because I see as a country, whatever we are getting is not commensurate to what we have lost. The money might look big to those of us who are not big, but to a country, to a state, that money is just like a tip of what has happened. Because if you count the life lost, if you count the property lost, if you count the agricultural produce lost too, the degradation to the land too, in some areas will suffer massive degradation, as in when you talk about landslide and so on.
Also, River Niger has been said, they've urged the federal government to dredge River Niger properly, because now about 4 or 5 local governments in Kwara State will also be affected, including Ilorin.
Yeah, it's always like that. It's not new.
That's what we are saying. So some lives will definitely be negatively affected.
It's a normal thing every year. It's not new. I can say it's twice a year.
It's sad. I mean, what's sad about it is that
for me the dredging of the River Niger is not actually the problem.
Now, no, the agency said it will help. Dredging the River Niger will help because it goes deeper. The water can stay in.
How would you do the dredging every year? Because sometimes they do.
No, I don't think they say every year. They just say.
I didn't check, but
they said
I know they did this dredging. Is it the Babangida, early period of Babangida of Buhari government?
But they've asked for it to be done again. They're calling that the River Niger be dreaded as a permanent solution to this crisis.
If you ask me, I would say do dams. Hold this water.
The one in Borno, they saw it coming.
So we need more.
They saw it was going to break. Yeah. They saw that it was going to break.
We need like 3 dams to hold this as they are coming so that you can just check them, hold them. So you hold them, you use them. You hold them, you use them. There are many reasons to have a dam for agricultural purposes, for electricity purposes, there are for fishing purposes. It's a beautiful thing to harness these waters. It's just that we are maybe too slow about it, maybe because we don't have enough money. We're a poor country, We
are not a poor country.
So that's another debate for another day. I don't want to go into that.
All right, very quickly, we have to move on because there's nothing that we say here that will stop this flood from coming. It's certain. They're going to come. I mean, we just hope that one journalist in the next 8 months is not doing a story of how.
Definitely, we are going
to do the corruption story. It's certain. Well, Nigeria. Very quickly, move on to the next topic of the day. He ended his tenure as Kogi State Governor a couple of months ago, and everybody just thought, okay, what's going to be this next step? Like many state governors in Nigeria, he got the golden tickets of an invite from the Economic Financial Crimes Commission. You know them as the EFCC. What was, however, shocking was the fact that the former governor of Kogi State, you know him already, ex-governor Yahaya Bello, refused to turn up, refused to show up. A couple of times, the EFCC men have tried to arrest him. He tagged that as kidnapping because, in the real sense of it, they were all over his home, and it took the presence of the current governor of Kogi State, Usman Ododo, to come pick him up from Kogi, from Abuja, and drove him to Kogi. The governor was not just the commander-in-chief of the state, but was an excellent chauffeur, you know.
Chauffeur.
Yeah, ferrying his boss.
Uber boss.
Yes, exactly, Uber boy. Ferrying his boss back to Lokoja after a couple of months and with a lot of drama. Drama that included the EFCC boss coming out to say that he was definitely going to get ex-governor Bello arrested. At some point, his lawyers, talking about the lawyers of ex-governor Bello now, said they did not at all know where he was. Well, eventually yesterday, majestically in his white attire, you know him, they call him the White Lion, he showed up again with his former chauffeur, and this time around coming as his major security aide, arriving in the premises of the Economic Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC. And a statement came out from his media officials telling us that, hey, he was at the EFCC office, and he was coming out to speak with them, and he left. It was not until yesterday, later in the day yesterday, that people really knew what was going on, and up until the night when video evidence came out that indeed the ex-governor of Kogi State reported at the EFCC office with the Kogi State governor and other dignitaries, and that the EFCC said, no, you can't be here with the governor of a state. You are not here for cruise. You are not here for photo ops. You are here for serious business. You should be coming here with your lawyers. And so yesterday night, picture evidence and video evidence have come out that the EFCC indeed went to where they said the ex-governor of Kogi State was, and the video is everywhere, like I said. Shooting happened. Shots were fired into the air. Who were the persons shooting? On what side? We exactly don't know yet, but it just shows you that the quagmire is still very much on. The chaos, the catastrophe is still very much on. And many persons, I think I should come over to you now, many persons have said, it's simple. Former Ekiti State Governor, Ayodele Fayose, had a t-shirt that said, EFCC, here I am. Immediately after office, a couple of days after office, and he went there with his, showman, Ayodele Fayose himself. He went there. Several other people have EFCC cases going on. Some even went to jail. Some somehow got themselves out of jail. EFCC cases for sitting or past governors is not a new thing. So why is this one of Yahaya Bello different?
I don't know. I find it difficult to understand why he's doing this like this. This is just making things... It's a mockery of himself, a mockery of the system, a mockery of EFCC, a mockery of us again as a nation. Look, it's simple. You have been called to equity. Just submit yourself. If you have a clean hand, go there. If you don't, go there. You will still have your lawyers to defend you. So it's a period. It's not going to. There are a lot of governors already that have been there, and their cases are still pending.
Of course,
it's not concluded yet.
Many.
So what is the fear? Is he afraid to go to? If him as a governor, I'm sure there was a time he got some people arrested himself as a governor.
Yeah.
So why is he afraid of being arrested over what has been alleged? He should submit himself for all this questioning and so on. But he chooses to play a mockery or deride the system, telling us that, look, he's more powerful than the system. That's what he's saying. And I'm wondering what the president is looking and saying to this. Look, Mr. If I were him, I'd just, Mr. Man, what's your problem? Submit yourself for questioning. But again, here he's making a mockery of all of us. That's what it is. Because if our laws cannot, he even went...
His media persons have come out to say that it was the security agents of the EFCC that were shooting at his residence yesterday. Of course,
all those are just drama.
Theories of they tried to kidnap him and take him away against his will, and
all those are dramas for us, the media, to latch on. But unfortunately, when he was there at the EFCC office, if they were that very much serious, they could have apprehended him even in front of the governor. The governor may have immunity as a person. Does the immunity cover that criminal you call, in quotes, I'm saying that word now?
It doesn't. It doesn't cover.
So why didn't they apprehend him when he was there?
I think out of respect for the office of the governor and the fact that they said he was a guest of the governor.
It was the governor the one that went to EFCC office and took Yahaya Bello as a guest, or it was Yahaya Bello that was supposed to be at the EFCC office? Because sometimes when these media reports
Yahaya Bello came with his governor.
Yahaya Bello came with his governor.
And
who is wanted?
The EFCC now looking at the immunity of the governor, decided to not apprehend him there on the spot.
Is the
So he came in like a white lion and walked out like a white lion.
With a criminal that is a murderer.
It's not a criminal.
No, I'm just using that word. Are you saying that's immunity? You declare somebody wanted.
Yes.
So somebody who is declared wanted is wanted for questioning. There are allegations around it. So is the EFCC telling me now that, look, because that criminal, that person that is wanted is with a president or a governor cannot be arrested? It can be arrested.
But that is what they said.
The immunity?
They said
it's
out of respect.
Respect for who? That's an error
we
on
are
their
a respectful nation.
That's an error on their part. It's also an error. That's why I said this whole scenario is making a mockery of the whole system. You now begin to question, why are these guys not doing their job properly? If this guy is here and you declare him wanted, he should be arrested straight and tell the governor, sorry, this guy is wanted. Will you get him back? But let's do the dealings. And you do your dealings. If you hold him for 24 hours and after that you couldn't get him more than that, you let him go. He will leave the country, would he? And if he's good, you do other things to make him not to leave the country. So these things they are easy. When you go to his house and begin to shoot gun and so on and so forth, you make a mockery that this man was in your office, you could have apprehended him. And I tell the governor, look, this guy is not above the law. Even with your immunity, you're also not above the law. If they want to carry you, they will carry you.
Yes, but the point they were making was that he shouldn't have come in with, this top.
Now
people.
he's here with the governor. Shouldn't they have arrested him?
What if the governor said, I came here. Why was the governor there yesterday?
That's the question. Why?
I think he came in as a security for his boss.
Security for his boss.
Yes, as cover, knowing he could not be arrested.
Sometimes I question.
No, I think. Why do you think he was there yesterday?
I'm saying that he went with him so that they can quickly plead. But again, the EFCC is making it look as if he went there because he has the coverage of an umbrella called immunity to cover everybody that is around him.
Okay, so
if they are
then of what?
Because this is it. He went there to submit himself or to see the EFCC based on the allegation and the problem on ground, isn't it? So are you going to question him with the governor in the same room?
That's not possible.
So exactly. So the governor, please wait. Yahaya, please come in.
While he's coming in,
while he's coming in, he's leaving the immunity umbrella. So he's coming in to what? So that's what I'm saying. There is so much to this.
Okay, what if the governor didn't want to leave?
What
if the governor didn't want to leave the room?
Well, at that point, I think the EFCC also have the right to call somebody else who is also greater than the governor and tell the governor. That's what I'm saying. It's making a mockery of the system.
But are you saying they should call the president?
Wait. I get to a level and I need to deal with the issues. This issue is already is a light all over the world that people want to see how it's going to be done. The whole Nigerian want to see this guy case treated rightly. So what exactly is the problem?
So the EFCC
at that level, if I am the EFCC boss,
should have called the
I would
president.
have call your brother to tell your brother to leave our brother with us.
It's a brotherly affair.
It's a brotherly affair. So tell your brother to leave our brother with us. We want to deal with this case. There's no issues about all of us being brothers. We all just want to look at our account and say, okay, set the record straight. We said you took this. No, come and tell us you didn't. So give us your record.
Okay, you didn't think he went there with the governor so that I think he didn't want to spend the night. You didn't think that was why he went so that let's just do this thing.
Is it better than the Fani Kayode and the others who have spent time with the EFCC? Is it more than them? Come on, man. They are not going to eat you. It's going to be question and answering session. I do this. I don't do this. You did. So you answer the question.
Perhaps he needed past questions from Governor Fayemi, ex-Governor Fayemi, ex-Governor Fayose. There are many actually.
He's making a mockery of himself.
You can write a thesis of Nigerian ex-governors.
It's wrong. What he's doing, I think, when he said he has after talking with his lawyer, with his family member, so I was like, okay, maybe this man has given up. He said he wants to go and face the music and see if it's Akbala or reggae. Let's go and see it. But unfortunately, he got there again and played some hip hop for us, Afro high beat, with like all of us there, like he's making us sit and talk. Good for him, but it's wrong.
All right, the EFCC have come out again to say that ex-governor Yahaya Bello is still wanted.
He's still wanted,
yes,
according to their statement.
He's still wanted as at today, the 19th of September, 2024.
They have the yam, they have the knife. Whatever way they want to cut, that's their decision.
No, they didn't have the yam.
How do you mean?
They didn't have him in their possession.
He
went with security.
The authority to declare him wanted is still with the EFCC. But when they saw him and they didn't arrest him, they still have...
They saw him in presence of the governor.
They could have arrested him.
Let's go back a little. The last time they tried to arrest him, they had surrounded his house.
Yes.
Everything was set.
Yeah.
There was so much tension on that street that morning.
Yeah.
The governor he didn't come out. The governor drove all the way from, if you know Lokoja to that terrible road. The governor drove all the way from Lokoja
to Abuja.
To Abuja.
Yes.
Followed
to Yahaya Bello's house.
To Yahaya Bello's house in Asokoro.
To give him the umbrella he
At
needs.
At least, if they are driving 120,
see,
they will drive for 45 minutes.
Let's not, this case, even after 8 years, is going to go on. Because what the governor too had done is also like, despite what
let's quickly talk about the governor. You know, this is a new trend. It's not new for people to, you know, want people they anoint to come in and then eventually get them in.
Yeah.
Of course, through the power of the ballot. But this is the first time a sitting governor is using his power as sitting governor to keep his boss from getting arrested. This is the first. I mean, I don't. This is a precedent.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the way going forward now? When one governor will now help his boss, who is wanted for, because Yahaya Bello is wanted for 80 billion naira.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, as I said, 80 billion is wanted. I mean, the EFCC say it needs to be questioned on 80 billion, 200 million, and some few thousands of naira.
Is it the first person? How much was my Ekiti governor? Former Ekiti governor was being questioned for.
Ekiti governor was a little about 6 billion, 7 billion.
It's a billion. So
compared
to
to
answer those questions, people see. I think.
So we are talking about the governor now. We are talking about the position of the governor. The position of the governor. If
you do good, you will be bold to confront those who are accusing you. So with this act, with this attitude, it means there is more. There is a lot of things fishy. So that's what the governor and
now as governor, one would have expected that on a Wednesday afternoon, you know, at the time when Nigerians are even crying about the situation of things and even Kogi people, he must have been busy devising means to help the people who voted him into power. But he was in Abuja, in the office of the EFCC for no reason, wasting the time the people have voted him for. I mean, we voted him in to work
like
for them.
Like I said, it's a mockery of the system. I thought about
it.
Who
in this situation, looking at this linear line now, who on this line is more embarrassing, or who is the most embarrassing person right now? The governor, EFCC, former governor Yahaya Bello.
The federal government should be the most embarrassed person on this issue now. Don't even look at those people, because what is the problem that you are using security men against security men? His own security aides should have been the one to like, okay, you are wanted, submit yourself and take him and keep him there. They cannot keep you. If they keep you beyond 24 hours, you sue them again.
Of course.
So what is the problem in this law system that Yahaya Bello does not understand? That's the question. What is the problem in this law system that the governor too does not understand?
Let's go for questioning your
house. The Kwara State governor, a former Kwara State governor was kept there for how many days? Maybe 2-3 days. And after that, they let him go. Papers and documents are there. The thing is, if we're not witch hunting one another with this system, I think we should be truthful to ourselves.
Of course.
This is the 11th commandment. You do the crime, you pay.
Of course.
So if they have asked you to come and give question, this case can even take 6 years.
15. Who
Let's
knows?
talk about. There's one Southeast governor that was even arrested, tried, jailed, and sent to the prison. And after that, some years, he was given pardon.
Go back.
He was given pardon.
Even got another election. Won. So what is this? Go and face the FCC like a man. You are a governor like
a lion.
Your AKA was a white lion.
Like a lion.
Why do you turn into a rat?
All
right, very quickly, you know, I mean, white lion should just, you know, you shouldn't be flooding the media at all. Go and speak with them and let's get it over with.
Confidently.
Yeah. All right, very quickly.
What's the bill you go to Kirikiri and after that what?
No, I don't. The law.
Some people have gone to Kirikiri. At least we have like 3 governors who've gone to Kirikiri.
Some others.
And they are back.
Some others.
And some didn't.
All right. Yeah. All right, very quickly. We move on to the third and last topic for the day. Edo gubernatorial election is upon us in the next 48 hours. Edo State people will be filing out on the streets of Edo State at their various polling stations to elect their new leader for the next 4 years. 3 top guys from 3 different political parties are the biggest contenders at the moment. Olumide Akpata, former NBA president, of course, of the Labour Party. Asoye Godalu, big businessman, flying the flag of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and Senator Monday Okpelolo. I know I didn't get that Edo name. Well, but you know what I'm talking about. Senator of Edo Central. He's from Edo Central, of course. He's the Senator of Edo Central. Senator Monday. Same for Asoye Godalu, who is from the same place as him, Esonland. And there's Olumide Akpata.
Esanland.
Yeah. Olumide Akpata is from the south. The way the system is according to what they say, the south is the place that is the biggest, where they have the most voters. Benin and the others, I mean, that is where the large chunk of voters will be coming out from. So most likely, whoever Edo South votes for wins that election. Olumide Akpata is from there, but unfortunately, of the three top political parties, he's from the least funded and I think the least popular, looking at the number of party members they do have. Edo North is controlled by the All Progressives Congress. Remember that is where strongman Adams Oshiomhole is from, and that is where they say is the controversial deputy governor who was out of office is back in office. Philip Shaibu is from there, and there's a united house in Edo North for the APC and the APC gubernatorial candidates. Now, Central, the senator is from there, most likely have his stakeholders, most likely have his guys that are for him. And there's Aso Ighodalo, popular businessman who is the candidate of the current political party in power, talking about the PDP. So you see how much of a battle this is going to be in the next 48 hours. In the last couple of days, we had some serious controversial security issues. Party A accusing Party B of planning to disrupt. Yesterday or the before yesterday, the APC came out naming certain INEC officials that they said had been compromised with names and where they were from. The PDP themselves equally said no to the peace accord, even though they held a caucus meeting. The governor, the PDP chairman, and all of them, Aso Ighodalo was also there, addressed the press and they said, no, we are not going in with gloves. We are all brothers at the end of the day, and blah, blah, blah. Mr. Aliu,
sir,
in 48 hours' time, the referee will blow the whistle.
Yes, he will.
What will happen?
The people would have, by then, the people would have made their choice, isn't it? But again, this is what I think the other people should do, is look appropriately who should govern them in the next 4 years, and they should go out there on Saturday and just vote the appropriate person. Yes, skirmishes here and there would occur. You can't rule that out in this kind of election that is so full of force and fire, because the governor is insisting, the APC candidates who is backed by Mr. Adams Oshiomhole is also insisting, and you could see the little fire from Labour Party also trying to catch. So, but the people is still the one that will decide who will rule them. They should cast their votes appropriately. They should vote for the right person they want. Having said that, NX2 should what? Should give the people the chance to do what they want. Let's talk
about
allow the election to be rigged.
Security. The security agents that have been, sent to Benin. Over 35,000 policemen. Soldiers.
It's an off-season election, so there's enough security
soldiers
to
are
man the place.
Even the chief of defense staff was equally there.
Okay.
IG at some point sent his men.
It's going to be tough.
It's
for
heavy.
Anybody to
now,
do
is it not
hacky
scary?
packy?
That's the question. Is it not scary if I, as a voter, and then I come out my streets, military boys,
you should be happy.
Policemen,
Should
I be happy or be scared?
You should be happy. You should be happy because, like I tell you last time, I said we have a kind of volatile society when it comes to political activities. It's volatile, meetings and so on. So, but when you see, of recent, I don't know if you saw a video where the IOIC were doing an election or just IOIC election, and you could see boys with machete.
Those guys are tough guys. IOIC is for tough people. Imagine
those IOIC are also our brothers and our sisters and our people, and they are also part of a do. They are going to do election. So you can imagine what would be happening if things don't go their way. But when you see these guys, at least seeing them will limit, reduce the effect of or the acts of distance. Some might be brazen, they want to confront them, but at least because you see, police plenty, I don't want to be arrested, you could lay down your arms and say, no, not here. So that's why I'm saying they should be happy to see these security guys around to help them reduce ballot snatching, rigging, and so on. That's the essence why you see these guys. These guys are not here to fight war or anybody. It's to see that, look, there's no ballot
boxing, some persons have said,
ballot snatching, and there's no rigging.
Some persons have said these guys can be acting a script. The security agents can probably be, you know, trying to
cover for somebody to rig.
Doing the job for someone.
We can't. We are supposed to rule it out. That is not possible. But again, sometimes these politicians have a way of what? Middling into everything, bringing people to do their bidding. So, but again, I also read this morning that the Police Service Commission is sending a monitoring team that will monitor the conduct of the police officers. So if you see these guys there, so you see there's a check, which is what we need. You need to check. You check me, I check you, we check one another to put things straight. So if they can do their proper checking and we mitigate rigging, election box snatching, votes buying and so on and so forth, maybe this election will be free. But I think the other people should be happy to have such security around them. It shouldn't be a cause reason for fear. No. You're good to you, at least you can go willingly en masse and vote and go back home safely.
Yeah.
Please, let's enjoy the security.
All right. There's no politicking exercise that does not come with its own, you know, gimmicks and all of that. And a lot has happened. A lot from saying this one cannot speak his language to visit to the Oba of Benin. You know, a lot of drama. We also saw the drama of Philip Shaibu, deputy governor, crossing back to the APC. Mrs. Obaseki versus Adams Oshomole. You know, these issues are supposed to be good for our politics, I guess.
Like I told you the last time, these are propaganda, these are politics and PR that brings tension up, that brings your rating up, that brings the discussion about this election and those parties involved at the mouth of everybody. You're discussing them. So because you're discussing them, you know what is expected. So by now, the whole Nigeria is aware that, look, election is happening on Saturday in Edo.
Yes.
Who are the contenders? You mentioned Monday, you mentioned Aswe, you mentioned Akpata. So those three are the forefront. So that's the story. Every story you hear, there's a reason. So what's the reason? They said this one no get picking, that one no get picking. The story is putting our party, putting our candidate in front of you so that you can discuss. So all these things work together for good for politics in Nigeria. Even in the world, you can see what Trumps are saying. They are killing their cats, they are killing their rats, they are killing their dogs, they are eating their pets. Those statements all over is making waves and making him to get waves. So that's what you see as propaganda in politics. You will say a lot. It might even be, it's just that after that, of recent, I think, is it the APC that is suing somebody for over some billions of naira? So these are the things. Don't cross the line, but you can say the things you can say. So it's good for their politics. This propaganda is good.
Senator Monday Okpelolo was accused of running away from the media, running away from debates, running away from anywhere intellectual property was needed. They said he's a plastic candidate. They said, you know, he's a rubber stamp candidate. A couple of times we've seen videos where he has made some errors.
Yeah, he should.
You know, is it fear? Was it tension? Is it really as bad as they say he is? Or it's just another politicking process?
Whatever. Does that make him not to be qualified to be a governor? He qualifies. I tell people, somebody with syndrome, clinical syndrome, can also be the president of this country if he has the strength and the agility to face all of us and get the ticket. He's the one that has won the ticket. So those are no criteria that will stop him. It doesn't make him imbecile. He can contest. That he can't speak fluently doesn't make him an idiot. He can speak his language well. He can see the book. He can add plus 1 million to 1 million to get 2 million. So what is it? What's on the table? He's not going to be the doctor. He's not going to be the commissioner. He's not going to be the commissioner of health. He's not going to be the financial commissioner. All he's going to do is oversee the whole affairs, and you see files on their table. I don't know if you saw one governor with like about 200 to 3,000 files on his table.
Yeah.
Different files coming from different bodies. All you're going to work with them. But the thing is, are you okay mentally?
Some have accused Aswe of not being able to speak his language. And from this path, you know how language issues can...
It's his language, it's not the ability to function. These guys are businessmen. They've run some offices before coming here. They've done some things. They've communicated like me and you. They can speak, I can hear. They can lie, you can hear. No, they are lies. So, what's the problem? Can you say Trump is deranged despite the whole accusation that he lies?
As for the LP's candidates, I've always known him as Olumide Akpata, but he had to bring in Osai Gbovo because obviously some people are selling the agenda that he was a Yoruba guy because of Olumide. He had to say, no, I'm from here.
Indigenous.
This is the name. And he has used those 3 names. I mean, all true.
Yeah. Let's not take away where we're from when we're contesting an election in our area. People want to know you are properly to the roots. So bringing his native name into bear is a sign that, look, I am from the root. I might be Olumide.
Yeah.
I might live my life in Lagos.
But I'm
still part of this society. And
right.
this name,
you have to do a song. Even have to do like a skit. All right, politics.
That's the fun about politics.
I will also define politics as who gets what, when, and how.
Wow.
So it's one of those things that, you know, we see happening in the Edo political terrain at the moment. Hopefully, come Saturday, the 20th of September, everything goes peacefully. Remember that if you die, the politician and his wife and his children, they will be fine. So, I mean, use your head, whatever the case may be. That's all for you on the program this wonderful Thursday afternoon. A very big thank you to Mr. Adekunle Aliu for making it into the studio this day. A very big thank you to you, our viewers, for watching. Like I always say, if you are not there, there's absolutely no reason for us to be here. A very big thank you to the production teams as well, pressing the right buttons and moving the right cameras and getting the right frames. On behalf of the entire team, my name is Shegodwan. Send up yourselves a fantastic weekend. The weekend begins tomorrow. Don't be weekend by the weekend.
Don't be weekend by the weekend.
Stay out of trouble. God bless.